Good, we're good to go. Right, how's it going, everybody? Just very loud. Okay, I have to get used to it. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Omer. I'm the co-founder of Mind Designs. We are a growth agency, and what we focus on really is to, how do we innovate in marketing? And sorry, this is 1 second. Let's see if I can play with it. Okay. Hello. Okay, that's better. Doesn't make that ringing sound. So what we focus on is really how to innovate with marketing, or with all the AI and what's been happening around. Things are moving in many different directions, and it's really important that we learn how to leverage creativity in marketing, and also the new tools that we're getting with AI. And combining those two is really the best approach that any agency could take. Now, our main purpose is really to help our clients grow, innovate in their marketing, and obviously celebrate their success. So today, what I did is, psychology has played a big role in marketing for many, many years. It's like an inseparable part of it. So what I wanted to present to you and sort of try to share with you today is really like the best points that I could find about psychology that is connected to marketing, and packaged to you in a very simple approach so you can understand how you can improve your own sales and marketing in your business. Okay. So I split it into 3 sections. We're going to talk about how you can apply psychology and a few principles in your ads. So how can you improve your ad for engagement, to get more clicks, to get more conversions, and so forth. Then we'll go into the website and how you can really design a website that applies some psychology principles in order for you to get more conversions and obviously more engagement. And then at the end, we'll talk a little bit about psychology when it comes to phone calls. I'll share with you a few stories about how to really make good sales calls and what you need to think about when you're talking to your clients. Cool. So can I ask you a question? How do you know whether to use static images or videos in your ads? Anyone ever thought about it? Which one would be more effective? Because both are effective. No one? Okay. The videos. Yeah, now there's that buzzword that videos are really good for ads, and you need to use videos, and video content is the thing that's happening now. But did you probably most of you heard the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? Now, I've seen another sentence and I want to share it with you. It says, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video tells the whole story. So what do we take away from this? If you have a very simple offer to your clients, like let's say you're selling a single product and you're putting a 30% discount on it, then a picture can display that very well, right? If it's a very simple message you want to convey to your clients, static image, obviously easy to create and is effective. But if you really want to immerse your clients and tell them more information and maybe drive some emotional concept into your ad, then use a video. So take away from this that using a video, if you're using a video, it's because you want to share more information. There's more you want to talk about. If your offer or what you want to share or communicate in your ad to your clients is very simple, it's like a very basic offer, then a static image is still very effective today. Correct. And I'm about to play one for you. And then we'll have a little chat about that before we move to our next section. So 1 second. So Andrea, if you could put the link for the people online. I did. I'm just gonna turn this off. It's really hard to do like a hybrid section with people online and offline, so thanks for your patience.
Who even are you? You good? Okay. All right, little man. Yeah, stop playing the victim. You need to calm down.
No. Don't tell me to calm down. You know what? Just enjoy your meal.
All right. Yeah. Same time next year. Got a package, babe.
Hey, man. It's good to hear your voice.
So I'll just go back to my slides. Turned off? Yep. So we don't have that accident like last time. Okay, cool. So I'll ask you a question. Has any of you ever cried emotionally because you saw a photo? Like, have you seen a photo once and you were like, oh, and you started tearing because of a photo? Yes. But anyone, okay, it doesn't look like many people cried from one single photo, but can anyone tell me if they cried if they watched a video or a movie? Okay, what does that tell us? All right, so in videos, you can go into depth. You can really connect with your audience when it comes to ads, not movies, yeah? We're talking about ads. You can really connect with your audience and put them as the hero in your story of your business, you know, where they are positioned. And that's what's so great about videos, that you can really communicate the emotions of whether, you know, your client is going through challenges, and you can really put them in that position. And that, when we experience emotions when we're watching videos, then we remember things a lot better. So that's why brands become very memorable in ads, even ads that are, you know, we see it as promotions and all, we don't want to see ads. If you can connect with your audience on a very deep level, then you're doing a very good job with your ad. A picture can do the same, okay? So what I want you to take away from this slide is that use humans in your advertising. For example, I drove on the way here. As a marketer, I look at things and, you know, advertising, and I assess them. I'm a critique of ads. There was an ad for the bungee place, which is just here, Skyrail Park. And they had an image of a person jumping, just at the moment they're jumping. And the lady was like smiling and freaking out. And then the person that's holding her, obviously, making sure that she's secure. So they really captured that moment of it's secure and you can have an extraordinary amount of fun. Then there was another ad on the way here. And that one was like for a restaurant. And that ad showed hands cheering with glasses. But there was no emotion to that ad. There was no faces. I mean, it looked stocky. It didn't capture my attention as much as the bungee ad did, let's say that. So when you're using ads, use people, whether you're using videos or static images, try to express emotion, try to get the audience to connect to the experience. You know, one of the most important things is like, whatever business you're running, there is a peak moment in your client's mind, you know, whatever, you know, whether you're giving them a mortgage and then they get their first home, that's the peak experience. Finally, all the process, I got my home. So you see a lot of those ads showing the moment of the keys getting handed over and the person smiling. So when you're advertising your business, make sure you think, what is the peak moment in my client's journey of what I offer them? And how can I capture that image or video in the most effective way? Okay, so we have a little exercise here. Read this, lift up your hand when you understood the message and you think you know who is the target audience. Oh my God, no one's lifting their hand. Okay, so imagine you were driving a car on a highway and you're trying to figure out what's the message here and who is it for? Like, is it? Let me tell you this, celibacy, I never used that word in my life until I saw this ad. I just never, in my vocabulary, I never used it, okay? And also this ad could be a little bit offensive for people who do swear celibacy. So with your ads, don't get complicated. You know, keep it simple, keep it specific. Okay, like this ad, for example, they could have just put like a married couple, like in that moment, you know, experiencing that moment that they just got married, and maybe say something along the line, "We met on Bumble," you know, something simple, easy. So I'll give you some practical tips on how to make things simple and specific. And obviously that ties to psychology. You know, if we can read something faster, we understand it faster. So I'll give you some practical tips for that. Simple is basically reduce fluff. If every word in your ad should have a purpose, okay, whether it's to hype it, whether it's to explain what you're offering, you know, extreme or you know, secret, you know, make sure that the words you use in your ads have a purpose, each one of them, and don't use too many words. Ads, when we're talking about whether it's video, whether it's static, whether it's a billboard, don't use more than 8 words. Try to keep your sentences very short and very to the point. And I'll show you soon an ad that we did and how much engagement it got and how simple it was. Okay? And obviously be specific. You know, don't be vague about your offer. Be specific about what you're offering your client, and your ads will get more engagements and more reactions. Okay, so this is an ad we did for a client that is a big warehouse in Brisbane. They sell doors and windows of all sorts to, you know, big projects, to tradies, to the person who just wants to replace their door at their home. Now, talking about being clear, I mean simple and specific, you can see here, clearance sale, up to $1,000 savings. Okay, was I being simple? Was I being very specific? Yes. So, oh, yes, a lot. People think they need to really, like, you know, create something very complicated and technical. It's all about simplicity. And the more simple you are, the more engagement you get. So what I want to say before I go into how much engagement we got and why we got that engagement, great offers get engagement. So think about it, for example, there's this huge clearance sales. They have this amazing products at JB Hi-Fi. It's through the roof. Products selling for $20, $10. You know, a TV you can get for $50. Wouldn't you tell your friends, like, dude, you can just pick up a TV, go get it. It's $50. It's like 60-inch for $50. You'll tell your friends about it, right? So the stronger your offer is, the more engagement it will get. Obviously, you don't want to go bankrupt with your offers. You want to make sure it's offers that you can you can use. And obviously, there's also a method of making the offers look more attractive than they are in marketing. Okay, but make sure whatever you're advertising in your paid ads, your billboards, and have a great offer because it will get more engagement. This specific ad, you see that, you know, it's a really, you know, big proposal. Obviously, they have products that are like $5,000, $4,000, $3,000. So $1,000 saving was on the biggest product. But anyway, what you can see here, the engagement it got was huge. We had 105 comments on that ad. We only ran it for like 2-3 months, I think, when I took that snap. And people are tagging each other, tagging their friends. They probably know their friend is replacing a door. So, hey, check it out. This clearance sale might be for you. People are asking, like, hey, do you have this size? Do you have this size in your clearance sale? So you can see that this, like, getting engagement on an ad is free leads. You know, people tagging each other, it's It's obviously helping you get a better cost per conversion for your ad. So what I want you to take away from this slide is have great offers. Think how you can package your offer in a very attractive and enticing way. What, any questions about the ads? Anything? Yes.
Doesn't have a lot of detail around what it actually applies to. Like if you make the assumption that it applies to the picture, the thing in the picture. But you know how there's the learn more button. So when people are clicking on the learn more button, where is it taking you to and how much information are they getting from where it takes them through to?
Very good question. So for that specific campaign, it takes them to the sales page. So you base to the sales page. So it's a page that has all the products arranged on it, and you can see what's on clearance and how much is the discount.
And you see the offer, like, oh, I need to find out more. So I want to push that learn button and get taken straight to the sales.
Correct. But for the people that are commenting on that, they probably didn't go to the sales page yet. They're just tagging, or they're just asking, hey, do you have this size? Do you have this size in your clearance sales? Like, and some people already know what door they need to replace in their house. So they're just, do you have this size in your clearance sale? That's, that's what they're asking. And then obviously the client should be commenting on that. One thing that we have with clients sometimes is that they don't comment on things on Facebook. So if you are running a Facebook campaign or any social media campaign, make sure you have someone on top of it, and not just daily, every like few hours, because people these days don't have time. They don't have patience. If they put a comment in your ad, they think you reply within the first hour or two. So if you're social media, just make sure you're engaging very rapidly on those platforms. Okay, so we're moving on to what's on the website. We'll talk a little bit about that and how you can make that really, really, better for your conversion rate. 3 is the magic number. So anyone know why 3 is the magic number? Has anyone heard about it? Why use 3? 3. So 3 is a very important number in marketing. Why? Because through a lot of studies and experiments, scholars found that 3 is very easy to remember. When you are presented, so there's been studies on like, how many offers should I put on my landing page? How many benefits is good to list on my landing page? How many testimonials? And so forth. So what you want to think about when you're designing your website, think in 3s, okay? If you have a product or a service that has many, many benefits, it's not helpful to list all of them. It might seem counterintuitive, but it's not. The more benefits you actually list past a certain number, looks more fake or looks less trustworthy. 3 has been proven to be more trustworthy than 4 by 18% in one of the reports I read. So when you are designing how many benefits you want, whether even you're selling a car, the specifics of the car, that could be like hundreds of specs and features, it could be in a different page. But on the landing page that you're presenting your client, have the 3 offers for the car. Saves on fuel, comfortable, and very roomy or spacious. Whatever you want to communicate in terms of the benefit on your landing page, just put it in 3s. That goes to your statistics as well. If you're selling like a software as a service, don't list all the statistics and make it like 10 statistics on one design. Just have 3 and your best 3. 3 is more memorable, yes. So also when you're talking to someone on the phone, don't overload them with information. There's 3 things that are important about what you offer. This doesn't just go for your landing pages, on your ads. I see ads today and I see this green tick and tick, 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 of how much they get out of this service. Okay, put 3, and the most important 3, or the ones that your clients and or leads think about or matters to them the most. Okay, think in 3s in your ads, in your website. Also, when you're talking to someone, don't overload them with information. 3 is the optimum number for that. Business names, Just Do It, Nike. There's a lot of, now that I said it, and if you start paying attention to marketing that you see that the big brands usually do things in 3s. Sure. Yes, I can, no problem.
So just do A/B testing, or how would you find out which three actually matter the most to the clients, not the three that we think are important? Would you do that with A/B testing or run some experiments or?
So good question. So again, if you have a lot of benefits and stuff, like maybe don't put it as the first thing you show your clients on the landing page. If you want to list more things, or like, for example, like specs for a car, this can go in the product page or something like that. But when someone first lands on your site from, whether clicking at it from Google or from an ad, you want to present it in a nice and simple approach. Okay, so 3 is the optimum number. If you have 4 benefits, it's not going to, kill the campaign or kill the landing page.
Yeah.
But just try to aim for 3.
Yeah, but how do we narrow it down? Let's say we have more than 3, but how do we decide which 3 to put forward?
I would.
So the question was more targeted.
Yeah,
Can we
I got
do
your
A/B
question.
testing, or
Yes,
how would you narrow it down?
Research. You have to survey. Ask your clients what they care about the most. We get what our clients want because they tell us. They tell us where's the problem. In our conversations, we engage with our clients a lot. We don't sell a product, we sell a service. So it's an ongoing conversation. But if you're selling a product of some sort, then you want to survey them, to survey the people that use the product. What matters for you? What did you like about the product?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll just ask to keep the questions till the end. Sorry, just so we don't ask too many questions in the middle. Okay, so we're moving on. Reduce friction and choices. Now, friction comes in a lot of ways. I hate friction. So friction could be like, on your website, having a lot of paragraphs, having a lot of content on your homepage or any page, just having 4 paragraphs. We are this company, we have this many years of experience, our CEO is this. That's friction, because people are not going to read through a lot of paragraphs. You know how many words is like the best performing pages for conversions? And this is based on thousands of landing pages we design. Can anyone guess how many words you need on a landing page to be effective at converting people? 300, okay, I've got a 300 there. Anyone else wants to throw a number at us? 25. Oh, it is. So 100 to 150 on the whole landing page. And that includes even your menu items, okay? Talking about menu items, friction. If your menu has like 10 different options, then you're creating friction. You're creating too many choices for someone to choose. So your menu on your website should be around 5 options in the main menu, not more than that. 6, but don't keep going up. Okay. Friction can also be the way you design your website. If it's very colorful, it's going to be looking like a clown, and you won't know what to do or what to choose. You see a lot of brands these days, they use 2 colors, 3 colors, max. Okay. What I want to say. So contrast. Your contrast really matters when it comes to the copy in your website. So make sure that the fonts or your writing is contrasting with the background really well. A lot of people these days also have, some of us wear glasses. I wear glasses when I look at my computer. So, make sure you're making the text the right size for people that might have difficulties, reading. It's really important to keep it really clean and really simple. Fonts as well. Don't use like those squirrely fonts to show that you are creative and stuff like that. It's very hard to read. You want to keep using something like Poppets or Sans. Use fonts that are really easy to read. Okay, and that way people will read what you have to say and engage with your website, so they get down to what you offer them. If it's too hard to read, the contrast is bad, it's just going to make it just going to create a lot of friction. Okay. Choices, same thing. I've seen a big brand came to us that sells the fertilizers to Bunnings. He's a big supplier to many different shops that are around agriculture and stuff like that. And they had like 4 call to actions on the landing page. Become a stockist, explore our products, sign up, download our guide. On their landing page, they had all these different call to actions. On your landing page, you don't want to have more than 2, okay? One is good. Two depends on who you're trying to attract into your landing page. So I'll give you an example. So if you have a lot of people come to your website that are sort of cold audience, people that are not ready to buy, doing their research, and you also have the warmer audience that are ready to get in touch with you. For the ones that are colder, you can have a call to action saying like download our case study, or download our template, or download our checklist for whatever purpose you're helping them with, and contact us, or call now, or get a quote. Have 2 call to actions on your landing page, not more than that, because then it just creates more choices for them. And the more choices we have, obviously it's hard for us to make a decision. I mean, after high school, go to uni, go traveling, start a family, do this, do that, do that. This is the most confusing time in our life because we have so many choices. When we start having a family, things narrow down and we chill out more. It's the same thing on your landing page. If you have a lot of choices, then it will be very hard for people to take action. So in this example, for example, you can have a product you're listing on your page, and whether on your product page or your home page, and you can have options like add to cart, buy now, add to wish list, learn more about it. That makes it very difficult for someone to take action. What do? Do I want to add it for the wish list later, or buy it now? Or the more choices they have, the harder it is to make a decision. So make it easy for them. You want to lead your clients into the choices you want them to make. Communicate trust and social proof. Can anyone give me an example of a social proof element on the website? You have businesses, yes. Go. Testimonials. Everybody goes to testimonials. Really good. I love testimonials because they're very effective. But these days, people are taking it another level. Testimonials can be improved slightly by, for example, putting the 5 stars, the 5 golden stars. Studies that show that if the 5 golden stars are with your testimonials, they work better. If you're putting a picture that looks authentic of the person that is giving the testimonial and doesn't look stocky, it's very important not to put stock photos in your website because people can pick it up straight away, then that improves the results. Their job title, the company, all those things really improve your testimonials potency or the effectiveness of them. So if you have testimonials, don't just have the name and the what they said about you. Try to go a bit deeper than that, and they will seem more trustworthy. Other things that are really important for trust and social proof, make sure that you don't have spelling mistakes. That takes it back from you if you have spelling mistake or grammar mistakes. The design of your website is really important. It needs to look clean. You don't want things jumping around or paragraphs broken or aesthetics that are making it harder or making it uglier to look at your website. All those things create trust, okay, and social proof. One of the things that a lot of people use these days, the big businesses, the ones that are doing pretty good, is use video testimonials. Okay, again with videos, like we talked about before, you can really drive emotion. You can start with the challenges that your client experienced, how they found you, what is the impact you're creating in their life. Videos are really, really, really powerful when it comes to testimonials. And again, I want to reduce the workload you have. You don't need more than 3 testimonials. You don't need more than 3 videos. You don't need more three case studies on your website. 3 is enough. So, some people come to me and like, oh, we need more blogs, we need more this, you don't. 3 is enough. If you're blogging and you have a SEO strategy in place where you want to rank on Google, then obviously the more blogs, the better. But just in terms of just having a website with a few blogs, just 3 is enough. So reduce the workload for yourself. 3 testimonials, 3 case studies, 3 blogs, 3 points about your company in your About Us page is enough. Cool. Amazing. So now we're talking about sales. We are talking about sales. So ads is very much how you generate leads. Website is very much how you generate leads. And now we're going to go to how you can close the sale better and how you can really, what you need to think about when you're making a sales call. So I have a video for this. So our process is turn this off. So I'm going to play a video about sales call. Hope you like it. Slide. Listo. Okay.
Fix you, manage you. Here's going to happen. I am going to have to fix you, manage you to on a more personal scale, a more micro form of management. Jim, what is that called?
Micromanagement.
Boom. Yes. Now, Jim is going to be the client. Dwight, you're going to have to sell to him without being aggressive, hostile, or difficult. Let's go.
All right, fine. Ring. Ring. Hello? Hello, this is Dwight Schrute from the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. Wow, that's great because I need paper. Excellent, then you are in luck because we are having a limited time offer only on everything. Wow, this is my lucky day. What is your name, sir? I am Bill Buttlicker. Really, that's your real name? How dare you? My family built this country, by the way.
Be respectful, Dwight, please.
Yes, Michael. Could you hold on 1 second? That's my other line. What? No, but hello? Yeah. No, I'm just on the phone with this stupid salesman. He's so dumb. Probably just going to keep him on the line forever and not buy anything. Okay.
It's up to you to change his mind.
Sorry. That was a family emergency. Oh, no. What's wrong? You know what? That's private.
Boundaries, Dwight.
I'm sorry, Mr. Buttlicker. As I was saying, we're having a limited. Speak up a little bit louder. I'm hard of hearing.
Sorry, he's an old man.
Okay. As I was saying, right now we are having louder.
Okay. Our prices have never been lower.
Son, you have to talk louder.
Never been lower.
Louder, son!
Buttlicker, our prices have never been lower. Stop eating. That is totally inappropriate. You never yell at the client.
Now
never
you listen to me, sir.
Here we go.
The 3 words I would describe you as is aggressive,
Yes.
hostile, and definitely difficult.
Give me the
Please,
phone.
Mr. I'm irate right
Give
now.
me the phone.
Please give me
I'm
another
irate.
chance.
Give me the phone.
Mr. Buttlicker,
Give me the phone.
I have to put you on with my boss. Well, I should hope so. Who is this?
Hello, this is Michael Scott, Regional Manager.
Well, this is William M. Buttlicker.
Hello, Mr. Buttlicker. How may we help you?
Michael, I like the sound of your voice. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy $1 million worth of paper products today. See how it's done?
Thank you very much, sir. I don't think you'll regret it.
You're the master. There is one condition, Michael.
Yes.
You have to fire the salesman that treated me so terribly. Don't do it, Michael. It's $1 million sale.
Okay. Okay, you must be wondering why I showed you that video. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. So your phone conversation with your client could mean the difference between a very angry client and $1 million sale. Okay, so for example, these T-shirts. We had a company that we worked with for many years. They, printed our T-shirts. We have some other T-shirts, and we did a few orders with them. And then I called them just before Christmas, and I was like, "Hey, this is mine designs. Da, 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 da. We want to order another order. We want to get more T-shirts." The lady was not patient. She didn't have time. I'm a long-time client, and she said like, "Oh, look, this is Christmas. It's I can't do anything. We have like a 3-week wait period. I'm sorry." And she ended on that tone, and I didn't really know what to say. She caught me really off guard, and the phone conversation ended. And what's really important when you're talking to people on the phone is asking the right questions. Okay, so don't think about anything else other than asking deep and meaningful questions when you're talking to your clients, because questions keeps you in control. I don't know if you heard about this concept, but if you're asking someone questions, especially in Australia, we're very polite people. We don't want to seem unpolite. If someone asks us a question, we'll answer them. So if they keep asking us questions, we'll keep answering them. And when we get to the point where it's very, very, very uncomfortable, we might say, "Hey, look, I need to go." But you will be there answering their questions. So whether you're doing cold calls, to leads that you're getting from your lead magnet, or just, a big list of leads that you have that you're just calling, Make sure you're asking questions. Start the conversation with a good question. Okay. Some people start with a sales pitch. How many of us have experienced a phone call from, the internet providers, the electricity, this, that, the gas system, and they just start with a sales pitch. They don't even ask you if you need anything. Like, for example, we have a really good a really good retention rate on our calls, because the first thing we ask is, what was the person experience when they downloaded our lead magnet? How did it work for you? And that totally shifts the mindset of the person from, oh shit, someone just called me, it's a sales call, to they care about my experience and what it did for me. And then the conversation just goes like this. And that's why only 1 out of 10 people we call will hang up or be rude to us, because most people don't see it as a sales call. So asking questions is very important. And make sure when you talk to your clients, have a lot of questions, okay? Have a lot of questions in place. Okay, so talking about questions. When you're asking a question, make sure you're actively listening, okay? Some of your products are very simple, so the conversation won't go long, but some of the services or products that we offer are more complex. Some of us, software as a service, so we have some more complex things. What we need to do when we're asking questions is really listen and empathize with them, because usually our product and services solve a problem, or change the person experience, or they help them in some shape or form. The more we can be present in the call and empathize, like, oh, you experienced this, or I'm really, just giving you my example, this agency, they did this to you, that's horrible, that shouldn't be happening, Yes, I know, people will open up to you. People will open up to you if you ask the right question and you listen. When you're listening, you know exactly what is the problems and you can tailor your next question. And once you get deep and you really, really understand where's the person, what his experience and what he needs, then you can start opening it about your product or service. And the more time they invest with you in the phone call, the more they'll be willing to listen to you and what you offer them, because you already empathize with them, you are showing interest in their journey, and that will open them up to hearing what you have to sell. Very important. Another example. Okay, actually, that's for the next one. Okay, so don't make your leads work for you. I'll tell you something. Hopefully, it opens up some ideas in your head. And I got a call. I was looking to mulch my garden, and I called a few people. I don't know why in Cairns it's really hard to get good tradies, or it's just hard to get someone online. Anyway, so I called this guy, and he says, "Oh yeah, I can help you. I mulch gardens all the time. Yeah, mate, can you call me Saturday to see if I'm available to come give you a quote? Is that all right?" I have to call you Saturday to see if you're available to come? No, I didn't say that, but I was like, yeah, sure, mate. And I hung up. No way. Don't make your clients work for you. You work for them. I called the other guy. He said, yep, look, I'm available on Friday at 7 a.m. start, or the next Monday I can start the project at 2 p.m. and then finish it the next morning. What do you offer? Oh, okay. Okay, on that point, obviously, I went with that guy because it just made it really simple for me to book it. But at that point, when you are, whether you're doing appointments with clients or something like that, when you're booking them for a call, don't ask them when they're available. I know it's very counterintuitive, and it's polite to ask someone like, when are you available? But that means they have to go into their calendar. They have to look at which dates they are available, and then they can tell you the date. So that's 3 touch points or 3 tasks they have to do. If you call your client and then you get to the point where you're booking them and you say, hey, look, George, I'm available at 2 p.m. on Thursday and 10 a.m. on Tuesday. What works for you? So all they have to do is go from that call to their calendar, look at those 2 dates and say, oh, this one is available. You see how we reduce that friction of booking a call? The more you make it easy for them, the more they like you as well. Okay, so reduce the, yes?
Just to rewind slightly on the active listening, I find it very useful to take notes if you're on the phone while you're talking.
Yes.
And particularly if they've said something and you bring it back 3 or 4 sentences later because you've made a note of it. It's much easier than relying on your memory, and even better if you're ringing them back 1 week later and your daughter was going to hospital. How did that work out? Just taking notes, I find, is very useful. That's all.
Thank you. It's a good comment for sure. Taking notes is important. A lot of days people use like what is it called, Firefly. You put it in your Teams, and you can have scan later what you talked about and stuff like that. So yes, taking notes super important. So again, back on the point to don't make your leads work for you. It's really important before you get them a sale, is that you just make it very simple to them to either book you or book an appointment. We purchased a car in Toyota. How was that experience? Terrible. Sorry to say this, there's Toyota representatives here, but they made it really difficult. We came into the place and we're like, we want this car. No questions asked. That's the car we want. And it was just a friction point after friction point after friction point. Like it wasn't smooth. It's like almost they had the concept of like, how do we do this sales pitch? But they didn't understand that we just want one thing and that's it. So just make sure when your leads come to you and it's just before the purchase, just make it really simple for them to do it. Okay, so I have 2 things I want to communicate before we do the questions. One thing is, some of you already downloaded this marketing strategy template, but this template is something we offer for free. And it basically helps you create your marketing strategy from scratch. So it really walks you through the whole process of getting, understanding who is your audience, understanding your marketing budget and how you distribute it across different marketing approaches. It talks about what is a lead funnel and how you tailor that for your business. And at the end, how you should organize your channels, your marketing channels, whether you're advertising on Facebook, on Google, or on SEO. So it's a really, really good structured way. We've optimized it over time since we launched it, and we just keep enhancing it based on feedback we get from people. I highly recommend it. I'll keep it there for another few seconds. Cool. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is, so I've told you about this before, but we got this nice grant from Advanced Queensland to basically run innovation programs here in the JCU Ideas Lab. The 3 things we are delivering is obviously these presentations to help businesses grow, give them value so businesses can apply different principles, tactics, and stuff like that in their business. So, we can, bring Kens to another level in terms of economic growth. The second thing is the simulator. Now, for those of you, or even your friends, if your friends have good ideas, or one of your friends is a crazy entrepreneur that always coming up with ideas, and they need the support to test and validate what they're thinking about, the simulator is all about that. It's a 3-day program where someone with an idea or someone that's already starting to build on it can come, register, and we basically give them, the resources and experience to help them validate if their idea is worth investing more time in, or whether they need to pivot a little bit. So if you have friends, entrepreneurs in Cairns that are also, it's also a hybrid simulator, so you can do it online if you want to. If you got people that are not in Cairns, then you can join and definitely spread the word after that. We definitely want to get, sorry? It's a small registration fee of like $100 and something, nothing crazy. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it, 185, I think. And that's all I have for today. Do you have, anyone has any questions about marketing or anything that you saw in the presentation at all? Yes.
Like be forward with my promoting of things. I find it hard to be forward with the promoting of things. And so I've started doing for my business advertising on Facebook and Instagram, for example. And then when I have people click like on the ad, but that actually is not converting to a sale, for example, I never know whether I should actually You know how you can like contact that person? I don't know whether I should be reaching out or making a comment to that person. I don't like being in someone's face. Does that make sense? Do you know the question? I'm just not sure what to do with that. Like whether I should be making it easy for them to then go, hey, I'm reaching out to you. This is where you need to go. This is what you need to do. Or do I just let them just look at the ad and
I think when social media, when it's come to just the little clicks of likes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
we personally don't, because it doesn't show that the person invested enough time to actually read our offer. So you can test it. Again, I love testing things. So you can test it and don't be shy, like to just reach them, see if it's working.
Yeah.
But from my experience, I think like from how I engage on social media, I might see a post that my friend posted or an ad that my friend posted and I'll like it. Or I might see something that relates to me, connects, and I'll like it. But if they don't comment or if they don't obviously go to the landing page, it's not enough engagement, I think, to actually get a sale out of it. But again, test it.
Yeah, I've been inviting them to my page. Do you know what I mean? You can do that, but I haven't gone any further than that because I don't like people doing that to me. So I was thinking, but is that just me? So that's a good answer. Okay.
So just to clarify that last point you've made, were you saying that you only sort of reaching out very specifically when people have downloaded your marketing template? Is that the trigger for you in terms of making contact?
Yes. So when, which point are we talking? Are we talking about the last point of the?
This is the point that this lady here raised. So what is the follow up? What is the most effective follow up process? You're offering something free, which looks great. So are you saying that when somebody has downloaded that, you wait until perhaps they give them a little time to use it and then follow it up, or what's your approach with that?
So the approach, the backbone in psychology is reciprocity, right? You give someone something for free, you know, they'll be willing to open the conversation up or to talk to you about it. So when someone downloads a lead magnet, especially if you make it really effective, really attractive, really helpful at the end of the day, then they'll be willing to open that conversation with you if you follow up with a phone call. So for example, like I said, like we asked what was the experience with our template, and people sometimes do say like, wow, it was great. Sometimes, you know, 80 to 90% of people don't even open it. Why? Because humans, we download like 4 templates and we don't look at any of them. It's totally normal, but you need to know how to navigate that conversation so you open up to a potential sale. Okay, but definitely, if someone downloads something, don't like sales call that you don't know them and you just got a big list from the internet or whatever. I'm not an advocate of that, because you're calling someone without even like you don't have a topic, you don't even know them. But when you know someone download your lead magnet, you know that they're interested in what you have to offer. So you can open the conversation that way, that it doesn't feel like a sales call. So I highly recommend not doing sales call from a list that you download from the internet, but making a sales call to someone that engaged with your business on a deeper level.
Yeah. If I could just ask one sort of follow up to that. So although I've had businesses for many years, I'm really new to this sort of the space of marketing through social media, just because of the nature of the business. And do you find, that LinkedIn, it's obviously LinkedIn is a different space to Facebook, but are you finding that one is more effective than the other in terms of getting that follow up, capture, I suppose?
It depends on the industry. As we all know, LinkedIn is all professional, professional services, professionals that working for big companies. So it really depends on the audience. Like Facebook, for example, the ad that I showed you before really talks to the people that are on Facebook, and we can target them a certain way that makes it really effective. But on LinkedIn, it really is a different service. So if you're targeting people that are, for example, are lawyers, and you're giving them, like, for example, a course to enhance their development and stuff like that, then you might get more engagement there because they're hanging out on LinkedIn very constantly. It really depends where your audience are hanging out and understanding that. Sometimes we get businesses that are like, well, we don't know anything about this business. We'll look at the competitors. Okay, we sort of get an understanding, and then we might test like, a few different platforms and advertise a few different things and see the reactions we get for that. And then we can pivot. Okay, look, we got more leads, and maybe they cost us more on LinkedIn, but they're good leads. And then we look at Facebook, it's like, oh, the leads weren't that great. Let's stick with LinkedIn, because we got cheaper leads here, we got more expensive leads, but these leads are better. So that we might get a good return on the ad spend that we are running in this campaign.
That's a great answer. Thanks very much.
Okay. We have a question online.
So Cam Thompson is asking, I've started building my MVP. Should I invest heavily in marketing to get my first customers or focus on working closely with 3 pilot clients to refine the product?
Well, I'll go with option 2. So work with your clients to understand more about the product and test it. Never invest heavily in marketing when you first start. Always test with like $100, $200, $300 to see what reactions you get. Yeah, definitely start small. When you're testing ads as well as like spend $100 on each ad variation. $50 is not too much these days because the ad prices are going up, but $100 on an ad variation or ad campaign set. In Facebook, it's called set. Then that's the way to budget for when you start. And then the tricky part is to scale. Okay, oh, we got these results for this. Let's put $1,000 this week on it. And then you might see results drop and stuff like that. And that's when you have to say, okay, at the end of the week, we spent $1,000. We didn't get anything near what we got when we tested it. What are we doing wrong? How can we improve it? Which criteria do we need to look at, or which criteria is failing our benchmark? And then we know based on the criteria of the Facebook ad, which points we need to optimize. Again, it's not a perfect world out there. You might test and try to optimize something, and it's still not getting you the return you want. Then you might have to pivot again. So marketing is all about testing, understanding, trying to scale. But it's not a perfect world where, okay, we tweak this 1, 2, and you get the perfect results. Okay, but you need to understand the criteria of your ads in order for you to know what to optimize. That's really important. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to launch a Facebook ad campaign without at least the criteria that I'm talking about is in the lead magnet that I just shared with you. So on the second page, you have a criteria and the benchmarks. What is the click-through rate? What is, the conversion rate? All these like different criteria that you need to understand before you launch a paid ad campaign. So make sure you have a look at that if you're interested in launching a paid ad campaign. So that way you know where you're falling in your testing. Does that make sense? Did I explain that? Any other questions? Yes.
Thank you. Is it on? Doesn't okay. When using ads or having a particular offer, would you use a dedicated landing page off the main website? So there are quite a few, let's say, specialized services that offer, let's say, a clutter-free, clean landing page, or would you always try to drive the traffic straight to the website or a dedicated page on the website?
Can you just turn it off after the question, just because sometimes we get like this huge.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So when driving traffic, for example, from an ad or from any offer,
I understand the question. I just turn off the mic.
Okay,
so
sorry.
it doesn't, because sometimes it has like a resonance.
You got it.
Okay, so I definitely answered. So the question was, should I drive traffic to my homepage, to my website, or to a landing page? Really, really, really good question. Again, we're talking about choices here. So when you send someone to your website, boom, they have like about us, all these different choices that they could make. They can go down, they could look at your testimonial, that could distract them sometimes from actually taking action and contacting you. So when you're running a campaign, we almost always use landing pages that have a single call to action. Okay, because when it comes to paid ads, we can target warm or cold audience. So like the example I told you before, where you should have a cold audience, maybe give them a list or a case study or something like that, and then a warm audience contact us. When you're doing a landing page, you just want, you're targeting people on paid ads, you're targeting with the warm or cold audience. For example, Google search, this warm audience, people are writing, lawyer services in Cairns. So they already need that service. So the landing page that we'll give you that will have a single call to action, contact us. Okay. For example, another example, if you're running a Facebook ad and you're doing like a lead magnet of some sort, a checklist, a guide, whatever, lead magnet, yeah? Then your landing page will have a single call to action to download that lead magnet. It wouldn't have another call to action to contact us because that's not what you advertise. So whatever you're advertising, always have the action, the most important action, one of them on your landing page. Okay, and websites, again, websites, don't send to website because there's too many choices there. So you usually get the better performance out of a landing page for your paid ads campaigns.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. If there's no more questions, what we'll do, you can just network, talk for the remaining session. I really, really appreciate you coming. I hope I gave you some value with what I know. We're going to have many more of those events and other presenters coming throughout the year. I highly recommend you go to you just write Impact 10X on the website. The website will come up first. You go in there, look at the events. You can register to events that are in the future if you're interested in the topics. Again, really appreciate your time and have a great day.